So it's been a minute since I've been able to give you guys some stuff because I'm always doing some other stuff other than giving you guys the stuff that I've been saying I'm going to give you on the time that I say I'm going to give it. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about something else. We're here to talk about how is it possible that most of you guys wish to really film, but think that you need half of the stuff that it takes to make a film, and you really have stuff that really fits in your pocket. In October 23 of this year that had passed, I know I'm late, a video was released by a superstar, singer, theatrical person, whatever you want to call him, and her name is Selena Gomez, and that video was called Lose You to Love Me. It was a great video. It made a lot of noise. It made a lot of attention. It got a lot of accolades for being this great new song that they had not heard her release in so long and so forth and all the other good stuff. But the intriguing thing was the video that she did, it was filmed with not a Red, not an Ari, not a whatever, not a Black Magic. No, it was done with the iPhone 11 Pro. Should you be shocked? I say not. And why should you not be shocked? The iPhone has been one of those mobile devices that's had great camera aspects. I mean, from the day that it started up until, of course, its latest release, the iPhone has really led in the camera department as far as mobile devices are concerned. iPhone 7, if I'm not mistaken, the iPhone 7 Plus was used to film a movie called Unsane, and it had lots of actual actors and people that you would see, Matt Damon, and I forgot a few other faces at this point. It looked very independent-like. You could tell it was kind of done with if not necessarily a phone, it really did have an independent look. However, it still was done pretty good, and lots of people don't seem to realize that at that time, the phone was capable of doing high-end videography. Now, there was still some quirks and stuff here and there, but needless to say, the point was you could shoot with what you have in your pocket. And this is one of those examples. Since the 11 came out, it gives you all these great features, as you know. Now, I don't want to really make this a whole thing about the iPhone 11. I really want to talk about how that such a powerful tool, such as your mobile device, doesn't necessarily mean you have to break the bank to go and get one of the most expensive cameras to do what it is that you want to do. With the price of an iPhone 11 Pro, roughly in the thousands of 1,000 or so, you get a little bit more than what you would get with a camera. Some camera bodies come for about $1,000, $2,000, and you didn't even get the lenses as yet. You have to add that, and then you want to get a mic, you have to add the mic to it, and then you have to get a tripod, you have to get a whole bunch of other accessories to make your whole entire camera kit really be what you want it to be. However, out of the box, this phone shoots straight 4K front and back. It allows you, I'm talking about the lenses, front and back, and it gives you the ability to do something very cinematic, unlike some other phones. I'm not knocking anybody else, but it does give you the ability to shoot pretty clean footage. So why is it believed that you need the greatest camera to produce such great footage? This video is clean, it is sharp, it is everything unlike what I expected the phone to be. There wasn't a whole lot of moving around as far as the video was concerned. There wasn't a heavy dance video done in the studio, or whatever the case is. These were tight shots, a lot of moving back and forth, and a lot of overlays. And I think what really made the video look really good, of course, was the lighting techniques that were actually applied. Now, I don't know what lenses were used, if there were any extra lenses that were used. I'm not sure if you were to actually add another lens on the phone itself, what it would really give you. But I believe the director, her name is Sophie Muller, and she looks like this. I believe she probably used the phone straight out of the box, and it has been said that she used the Filmic Pro app, and I think that's all you really need. Whatever rig she used to do a lot of the pulling back and forth, it's neither here nor there, but the effect was given, and she was able to deliver what she needed to do. So you don't necessarily need a huge camera to do the things that you want to do. I don't want to make that the rule of thumb that you could film a cinematic theatrical piece with the iPhone 11. And even though I'm not saying that you can't, I believe you can. However, there are some components that will fall short with what you have out the phone as opposed to, let's say, a $4,000 camera or a $2,000 camera. I mean, either way you look at it, there are some things that you may not be able to do. Now, the iPhone 11 does not give you RAW footage and it doesn't give you ProRes footage, but at the end of the day, I'm not too sure if it doesn't give you ProRes, but I don't believe it does. And even if it were to, there'll be some still other things that it will be lacking as opposed to some other cameras and what you may want those other cameras to do. Now, most people don't really care about ProRes or RAW or anything of that nature when they're especially doing something online, as we are right now. Now, ironically, I have a camera that could do 10 times as much more than this Canon that I'm using right now. But I prefer to use this because it's smaller, it's condensed, there's no setting up that I have to go along with doing anything. I just put it up on a tripod and I'm good to go. So, and it's very easy for me to run out in the street and do some stuff. It may not be the most inconspicuous looking thing, but for the most part, it really does deliver what I needed to deliver, especially for something simple. And I think that's what makes this particular project very interesting. It got lots of views up until recently. I swear it's like in the triple million views at this point. And why would you need to break your bank to do your story? Which is the whole point of this whole entire thing. I really think it's all about you telling your story and what tools you have. And most of us have smartphones. Now, it doesn't have to be an 11 Pro, but if you know your phone and its capabilities and what it could do, one thing I know for sure it could do is definitely shoot. It's all how you tell your story, I think, that makes the whole entire difference. Most people tend to think, oh, I need to go and get the newest Sony or the newest whatever the case is and get all these different things, and still, it's not the tool that actually makes the story what it is. It's really the creative mind that what makes the story what it is. And I think that's what this whole thing is about. This woman, Sophie Muller, who has an accolade of work underneath her belt, she went and got the simplest thing to give us the most impactful piece of art. And I think, well, I'm beyond thinking at this point. I'm sure that was what she wanted to deliver. And I think this is what most of you would wish to deliver. Give us what you wish us to see, your artwork, your creative ideas, and by all means, if you don't have the latest in camera gear that you really would think you need, you probably already have it in your pocket. It's your phone. I don't have an iPhone 11, but I play with it, and if I did have it, by gosh, I think I would do a lot more stuff with that because I'm lazy. I don't want to always walk around with something and I have to change the battery, this, that, and the third. Even though this is not a whole iPhone 11 rant per se, it really is, all cameras fall short in some way or another. There is no super camera that does it all, but for something that is less cost effective than some cameras, I believe your smart device could definitely pull off what you needed to do. This video is a prime example of something current, something new, something in 4K. It was probably shot in 4K, even though it says 1080 on the screen as it's viewed. It was probably shot in 4K and of course dropped down into 1080 eventually. But who knew the difference? All you were able to see is clarity, and you were able to see what you needed to see, which was the subject, which was Selena Gomez. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing anything as far as phones are concerned. Some people have some, quirks about it. Others have really kind of changed their mind, for those who've actually spoke on phones and said they're really not your filmmaking tool. However, I think these things are going to change in the years to come. Pretty soon, phones might actually try to really do something much more with what cameras can actually do. There might be a 4K RAW ProRes mobile device pretty soon, and I wouldn't doubt if actually Apple is trying to actually pretty make that at this point. Why would I say pretty make that? It doesn't make any sense. I think this is what is really going to happen. Now, the Red camera tried to actually come up with a smart device that was actually modeled from their camera, but it just didn't seem to work. So I think maybe stick to making the cameras red. Maybe you'll be able to make a mobile device that's comparable to your actual camera. But Is it really necessary? For some short story type stuff that you're trying to do, your phone is probably more than capable of doing what you need it to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the little belly thing to let you guys know I'm coming with stuff when I come with stuff, and I will see you whenever I can make it, which is hopefully pretty soon. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna be doing more videos like this in the future where I pick a video of choice, whether it's new, whether it's old, and I'm gonna really kind of break down some of the things that I think which made that video pretty astounding and what I like of it, whether it was astounding or not. So I intend to do this more often, of course, whenever I remember to do it and give you guys, the stuff that I've been promising to do. So yeah, okay.